Yeah, we got 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse in the house this morning. And good morning, Congressman.
Good morning to you. It's great to be here with you.
Yeah,
Good to have you back,
for
sir.
coming in.
Appreciate it,
Yeah.
as always.
Definitely. Definitely.
We
Go
are
ahead.
wrapping up. We saved the dessert for the last. You know that. You're the last of our interviews. And we've covered every single I think that's going to be on the ballot. Every race, every issue,
Every initiative.
everything. Yeah, we've
good.
nailed them all with the detailed conversation.
Good
So
for you.
our
That's a great service for our people.
Yeah,
I
that's
tell you
right.
what, our voters will be informed, and now we want them to have a little time and visit with you. We may have some new folks to the marketplace. We may have some people who are new to paying attention to politics that don't know your story. So remind folks a little bit about who Dan Newhouse is, your background, and how you got to where you are.
Well, good. I'll certainly love to do that. And thank you for having me this morning. It's an honor to be dessert on your menu.
Good man.
So I was born and raised in the Yakima Valley. I come from the Sunnyside area. I've been a lifelong farmer. Lived here all my life. And as you know, I've been serving. Public service has been a passion, something that I've spent a lot of time doing. I served in the state legislature. I served as the director of agriculture for the state, and in 2014, I had the honor of being elected to serve the people of Central Washington, the United States Congress. And so here I am asking for another term so I can continue working on behalf of the people I represent.
I just got to ask, what are you growing in the Lower Valley?
On our farm?
Yeah.
Well, we're primarily a hop farmer, but we've got wine grapes, juice grapes. We've got some fruit trees. This year we've got some silage corn. We usually have a little alfalfa. So diversified farm.
Yeah, cool. All right. Then you're doing some door knocking, I take it. Big district.
Huge district.
Like I asked Gina, with such a big district, are you hearing different things in part of the district? I mean, or is there's a common theme throughout? And if so, what is it?
I heard that question when you asked Gina, and she had an interesting answer. And I guess I differ just a little bit on what I'm hearing. Certainly, we have some common themes that people are concerned with, but we go from Canada to Oregon, huge variations in things that people are concerned with. And for instance, up in the north, they're concerned about wolves and grizzly bears and forest fires and those kinds of things. But maybe closer to the Tri-Cities, more people are concerned about the Hanford cleanup or the Snake River dams.
Right.
But there's a lot of commonality too. People are concerned about the economy and their jobs, their futures, our relationship with the world, maybe trade. There's a lot of commonality as far as issues go too. But we have such a diverse district, diverse geography, a lot of different ways people make a living. So absolutely, there's different concerns.
Yeah, it just must be overwhelming when you get to. It's like, I think I can handle one of the, and then you start getting all these concerns of people. Interesting on wolves. We've certainly had our challenges with wolves in this state, but is the wolf thing more of a state thing than a federal thing for you?
It's a federal issue because the wolves under the Endangered Species Act, the ESA, are federally protected.
Well, what do you think about it seems like the current pattern that we have in this state of introducing wolves, they start attacking calves, we start killing off wolves, and a lot of people are saying that it's against the Washingtonians' wishes to kill off wolves after we've introduced them. I guess the question is, why are we introducing them in this state if all we're going to do is seems like eliminate the packs once they start attacking calves?
Well, wolves have a long history in the United States and in the state of Washington. They were hunted almost to extinction, 100 years ago.
Sure.
Primarily, I think, by ranchers who were concerned with their cattle and sheep. They were reintroduced and they're put on the protected list. And I got to tell you, as far as the Endangered Species Act, wolves are a great success story. They are thriving. The numbers have grown all through the West. They're a place that we should stand up and say, this ESA, we finally have a victory. But it's been very difficult to remove them from the list. And that would accomplish a lot. It would allow the local and the state governments to better manage the wolf population so that we can coexist. You know, we don't want to see them eliminated again, but we certainly want to be able to see a cattle industry thrive in this state. So so there's a balance.
Yeah.
And when you have rules and regulations coming from Washington, D.C., it's kind of a one-size-fits-all thing. Well, every state's different. Every area within a state is different. And I think a local state management is much more effective, and that's what we're pushing for.
Well, it is a management issue. I mean, we manage the game herds that they're the apex predators for, and so why wouldn't we manage them as well? And like you said, provide some more local control.
Absolutely.
One of the things that we hear an awful lot about on the national scene, and you wade through it every day back in Swampland, is the discord. Just the vile way people are treating each other back there. Do you run into much of that on your daily basis? I mean, we certainly saw it on full display with the Senate hearings, and we hear about it in other media coverage. But for head down, nose to the grindstone, not looking to make headlines kind of guy like yourself out there just doing the job, do you run across that kind of stuff very often?
You know, an interesting thing about Congress, and I think it's probably similar in the state legislature as well, about, I would guess, 70% of the bills that we pass are on a bipartisan basis. But those don't get a lot of headlines. Certainly, though, there are a lot of issues that are, I guess you could say, we're polarized on. The definite differences between Republicans and Democrats, and that's what gets all the attention. And unfortunately, there is some of that, I would say, lack of respect or civility that's reflected in Congress right now. And truly, Congress is a reflection of the country. You know, it's all over. It's not just in the U.S. Congress.
True that.
And so that's something that I've been, I grew up, I guess you could say, in my political service in the state legislature here in Washington. I was always in the minority. I felt that if I wanted to accomplish anything, I needed to be able to work with the other side of the aisle. And so you learn to listen to other people, to try to understand their positions and respect that they hold that position sincerely, but still look for common ground so you can move forward. And that's what I continue to try to do in Congress. You've seen a lot of things that really came up with this Kavanaugh hearing, the divide that we have. And I don't know all the answers to that. I think I know some of the reasons for that. There's a lot of people in this country that just frankly can't accept our president, that Mr. Trump is the president of the United States. And so that's coming out in a lot of different ways.
Well, let's talk a couple of issues. Immigration is important here to our district, and the president has talked about being willing to go to the mattress on a shutdown again over the funding for the wall. Where are you at now after, I think it's safe to say that you were at 100% on board to begin with when he first got in there. You certainly have seen the progress and watched him work and all the things that have come to pass there. So I think a lot of people maybe have some adjusted feelings about the president. Where are you on a wall? Because you guys will write the check. I mean, you're Congress, you're the House of Representatives, so you guys control the money. What do you think will happen?
So, Dave, I think you're absolutely right. Immigration is one of the most important issues that we face as a nation. It truly is. And we have a broken immigration system. And a symptom of that, or a part of that, is our border. I took it upon myself to go to the southern border so I could see for myself the situation that exists there and see what the Border Patrol is dealing with. And I came away thinking that we absolutely have to give more resources, more tools to the people that we have given the responsibility of protecting the homeland, our country. Does that mean a steel concrete structure from the Gulf of Mexico to the Pacific Ocean? No, even the president would agree that that's not what that means, but it certainly means utilizing technology, different methods of making sure we control who comes and goes across our border. That's absolutely essential for national security. And, I think there's other things we can do, too, besides efforts on the border. We've got to remove some of the incentives for people to come here. A lot of people are coming here for a better life, a better economic situation for them and their families, and which is good, that we're the land of opportunity, right? but we need to have some control over that. And part of the legislation that I've been working on to reform the ag labor situation, the guest worker program, includes the electronic verification process to require employers to verify that the people they are hiring are in this country legally. So if you can't get a job, if employers are prohibited from hiring someone who doesn't have proper papers, there's going to be less incentive to come here. So there's a lot of different things that we need to accomplish in this issue.
What about the DACA situation? What can we do about that? What do you anticipate will happen?
I think we've made some progress on that, but that has been a very frustrating issue. You know, it's something that you guys look at all these numbers from across the country. It's I think the last I saw, it's an 80% issue, meaning 80% of Americans, even Republicans, want to find a positive, lasting legislative solution for this group of young people who are brought here under no fault of their own. You know, in this country, we do not hold children responsible for the crimes or the actions of their parents, and this is a situation where that really comes to the front. So many of these young people are, they're contributing to our communities. They're well educated. They're starting jobs. They're buying houses. So I think that we really need to find a solution for them, a pathway to legality. And I'm optimistic that we can do that. Even the president has lent support he says, I love these kids. So I think that we'll be able to do that. Unfortunately, you guys know, in an election year, a hot button issue like immigration has just proven in my short time in Congress to be a very difficult thing for people to touch. They're very reluctant.
Yeah, that's a very real deal that you folks back there have to deal with, is that there are windows of opportunity.
There are.
Even to do the right thing, there's windows to do it, given all the other calculations. What about health care? You know, we were one McCain away from a total change, and where we sit now, what do you think is the future for the nation in health care?
Yeah, that's you're absolutely right. With one thumbs down vote, we did not pass the American Health Care Act. But we have done a lot of other things to improve health care in this country. More to do, absolutely more to do. Costs continue to go up. But as far as what we've been able to accomplish, I point to the health savings accounts. We've been able to increase the availability for Americans to utilize those. There's an example of direct primary care where you can use health savings accounts to pay for that service that you get from a doctor or a clinic. An example right here in Yakima, where they don't even use insurance companies. People can go there, pay their monthly fee using their health savings account to get the medical services that they need. We've also been able to increase the ability for groups to come together, shop for insurance across state lines so that they can find insurance that better suits them at a lower price. We've removed the individual mandate, so instead of the government telling you this is the policy you need, you're able to shop for something that fits your family situation better, that's more affordable to you. So some good things have been done, but obviously there's more to do, and we'll continue to work on that.
Lance is looking for a policy that gets rid of bad tattoos, aren't you, Lance? One of the
no,
things
I have
you're
no
looking for.
regrets.
No, but if they get, like, the lines aren't right, I mean, you want to be able to go in and get them
Is that a pre-existing condition?
Pre-existing, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, you got a couple of minutes left. Congressman, tell us why you are the best choice to send back to Washington, D.C.
Well, I tell you, Lance, and everybody that's listening, I was born and raised in the Yakima Valley. This is my home. I've had a business here almost my whole adult life. The issues that I'm working on in Washington, D.C. are the ones that are my issues, the things that I live every day as a citizen of Central Washington. I think I've been able to accomplish a lot. There's more to do, certainly with the water issues that we have, the immigration issues that we've talked about, which I think we're making progress on. I think I'm best positioned to continue working on those to bring true solutions that will be helpful to the people of Central Washington. And we have I got to tell you, you didn't ask, but we have a tremendous partner in the White House that we've been able to do a lot in this country. You know, with tax reform, that people are feeling good about their financial futures, able to keep more money in their pockets.
Consumer confidence way up. Personal confidence.
You know, I was with a group of business people up in Douglas County yesterday. They told me that the economy's on fire. Things are great.
Oh, wow.
You know, the biggest issue that a lot of business have right now is trying to find people to go to work for.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of good things. We've been able to reduce regulations, build our military back to a position of strength. A lot of good work that we've done, and I want to continue working on these things to continue to make our country as good as it can be.
You know, you don't want to go into some counties in Washington and hear that things are on fire. We've had a whole summer of that, so now we want to go. Congressman Dan Newhouse, we appreciate your service to the Valley through all of those years in the legislature and in the cabinet of our governors, and your family's contribution over the years. Thank you very much for what you've done. If you happen to win this election, we'll really look forward to more conversations with you as you move ahead on all of those things down the road. We are always accessible to us and the people of the district, and we appreciate that very much. So best of good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Lance.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it, Congressman.